In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the best thing to tell a woman when you approach her. You guys ready for it? You guys ready? The best thing to tell a woman when you approach her is literally anything. It's anything. Because it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. And if you clicked on this video thinking that I was going to give you guys some sort of pickup line, some sort of perfect sequence of words that's just going to charm this woman and make her instantly like you, you're wrong, right? You're wrong. But this video is going to be so much more valuable to you than any video like that ever will be. Any video that's going to give you a corny pickup line. You know why? It's because if you're out here on YouTube trying to find the perfect line to say to a woman, and that's stopping you from going after the woman that you want, that's stopping you from doing the approach when you see that girl that you find attractive, then you are shooting yourself in the foot because you are pedestalizing this woman. You're already telling your mind that she's better than you. Everybody knows this, right? Most guys know that if you want a woman to like you, you don't want to ever pedestalize her, right? You want her to be attracted to you, well then don't put her on a pedestal. Don't make it seem like you view her as above you. But you're subconsciously telling yourself that she is above you when you try to figure out the perfect line to say. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's because why do you need a perfect line to approach that girl? Why not just say, hey, excuse me, you caught my eye. Wanted to say what's up. Wanted to introduce myself. Or just make a comment about something that she's doing, something that she's wearing. Or even, crazy one, right? Being like, hey, I thought you would look good. Just wanted to say hi. Right? But all these dating coaches will tell you, oh, don't compliment women. Never validate a woman. Right? Never compliment a woman. Right? Use this sequence of words. Use this pickup line. Right? Approach her this way. And listen, I have videos on my channel where I break down everything you need to know to do a successful cold approach, exactly how to handle the interactions, exactly some good examples of things that I personally like to say when I do approach women that have given me success with it. But here's the thing. If you overanalyze all of these little things, and you're never going to get the approach. You're never going to start approaching. The best way to get better at approaching women and speaking to them is by just doing it. It's just by doing it. It's just like me recording this video right now. I used to literally almost catch panic attacks when I would get in front of a camera like this and have to speak to it. And it was crazy to me because I had no issue at the time speaking to people, right? I had good social skills. I was well spoken. But when it came down to speaking in front of a camera, I would freeze up. My heart would start to beat. But over time, I put in reps. I recorded hundreds of videos, guys. And I'm still nowhere near perfect, right? This video might suck. But I'm a lot more confident when doing so. And I'm not overanalyzing every little thing that I'm doing in this video to make it a good video. So stop overanalyzing what to say to the woman and just do the approach. Just do the approach. Because you know what matters so much more? It's about how you say it. Because we could have the same guy say the same line to the same woman, right? Let's say two different situations, but he speaks to the same woman, right? And he says the same thing, but if he says it in a different way, one of these interactions may go well. She may give him her number. Another interaction may go wrong, and she's going to reject him. She's going to tell him that she has a boyfriend. What's the difference? Is the way he said it. So you could go up to a woman and say, hey, excuse me, I thought you looked good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could say it like that, right? You could act timid. You could act nervous. And don't get me wrong. If you are timid, if you are nervous, Your first few approaches are going to be like that. That's part of the game. Don't let that stop you, right? Because every approach is going to get better. Every approach is always going to get better. So even if you are timid, even if you are nervous, even if you do trip over your words, even if your heart is beating, still do the approach and still stay consistent with it. But if you do an approach like that, in that state of mind and with that sort of like nervous system, right? Versus if you came up to her confident, you got some bass in your voice, you got some energy, right? And you tell her, hey, excuse me, I just thought you looked absolutely beautiful. And you said it just like that, right? You weren't expecting some sort of crazy reaction from her. You weren't expecting her to, you weren't expecting an outcome, basically, is what I'm trying to say. That approach is way more likely to go well. Yeah, you validated her. Oh man, big deal. Guys, don't take some of this dating advice that coaches give you so like to heart so much, right? Because especially if you look good, if you're a man who's in shape, if you're a man who takes care of his presentation, takes care of his style, and you have, most importantly, good habits, good daily habits that create the man that you are, right? You stay true to yourself. You keep the promises that you make to yourself on a daily basis. You have morning routines, you have night routines, you have different non-negotiables that you have to do each and every single day. Every single day you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. That's who you are as the basis of a man, right? That's the basis of who you are. So if you have all of these things, I promise you calling the girl beautiful, you giving her a compliment is not going to make her think that you're a simp. It's not going to make her view you as any less than. If anything, it's actually going to make her flattered. Because here's the thing that a lot of coaches won't tell you is that yes, you shouldn't over validate a woman, but giving a woman a compliment can actually be very flattering if it's from the right person. If a guy who's ugly, if a guy who doesn't take care of himself, right, he dresses poorly, he stinks, he's out of shape, he's like skinny fat or he's fat, right? He just looks like he just rolled out of bed and he comes up to her and he's like, in this timid voice, he's like, hey, I thought you were beautiful. Then yeah, she's gonna be like, thanks, Like she's gonna give him a weird reaction and she's probably gonna run away from him, right? Give him the boyfriend excuse. Anything to get away from that guy. But if a guy who's in shape, confident, looks good, has good habits, all these things, comes up to her and says the same thing, you think she won't appreciate that? Guys, you fail to recognize how few guys there are in the world, how few men there are in the world that actually put in effort towards themselves, right? That actually are in great shape, that actually dress in a way that complements their physique, right? They don't hide their physique with big baggy shirts. They dress in a sophisticated, classy manner. They dress like a man, not like a little kid. They have positive habits, right? They don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't chase women around, but they still work on their dating life. They still work on their social skills. They still do what they have to do to develop as a man in the first place because dating is a part of self-improvement and they recognize that. But there's so few men out there that are like that. And so when you can be that guy and you just release the outcome, I like to call this as, I like to always use the saying, is act like a teenager. Act like a teenager when approaching women, when speaking to a woman. Now, what does this mean, to act like a teenager? This doesn't mean to be immature. This doesn't mean to be childish. This doesn't mean to say corny pickup lines. But think back to how you acted when you were a teenager. You had a lot less, what's the word for it? I forgot the term, but like inhibition, right? You had a lot less inhibition. It's just like when you drink, it lowers your inhibition. And so you kind of just say whatever's on your mind. You kind of like, you give no fucks, right? And it's the same thing when you were a teenager. You really didn't care what you said. You really didn't care about the consequences. You just did things. Your testosterone was high. You just did things. You just acted. And then you thought about the consequences. Now, obviously, you're a grown man now. You shouldn't just say anything. And you should, you know, consider the consequences of what you do. But as long as you're mature, if you can just release the outcome and say what's on your mind, right, in an appropriate way, obviously don't be weird about it, if you guys know what I'm saying. But just say what's on your mind, because I guarantee you see this girl, there's something that's like stood out about her to you, right? You don't have to be over sexual. Like, even if it was something sexual, like you thought she had a nice body, like, listen, you thought she had a nice body, go up to her and be like, hey, excuse me, do you work out? And she's gonna be like, if she does have a nice body and she worked for it, right? She's gonna be like, oh yeah, like, how'd you know? Da da da. Be like, yeah, like, I can tell. You look like you've been training for the Olympics. You have a great physique. That's like a sophisticated, mature way of complimenting her body, right? Without saying like, hey, yo, ma, your ass is fat. You know what I'm saying? So there's nuances to it, but the key point is that you lowered your inhibition and you just acted free. You're a grown man. Like, too many grown men nowadays are just like, they tuck their tail in between their legs and they stop themselves from going after what they want in life. In dating, in fitness, in business, all of these things. And so what's going to happen? How many years are you going to let go by? And then you're older now, right? You don't have as much energy. You don't look as good. You have more responsibilities. And then you look back and you're like, damn, I wish I used all of that masculine energy I had when I was younger to actually go after the things I truly wanted. Because it's cliche, but you really only have one life, and your life can be short. Like, life is short in general, right? Life is short. We only get so much time of being an adult male with energy that looks good, that's not too old. Like, you get about from like 20 years old to about 40, right? You get 20 years, right? After 40, yes, you can still be in shape, you can still look good, but your energy just won't be the same. You're not gonna be the same, right? You're not gonna be the same as you were in your 20s, in your mid 20s, your 30s. So take advantage of it now. Take advantage of it. Stop worrying about the perfect line to say and just go after what you want. And there were plenty of times in my life where the reason why I can be so passionate about this is because there were plenty of times in my life where I used to think I needed the perfect line to say. I watched all the pickup artists, all the cold approach guys on YouTube. I literally watched hours and hours and hours of content. But it wasn't until specifically like around 6 years ago when I was in college campus, I was full of vices, right? Smoking, drinking, going out, chasing girls. I looked like shit, right? I didn't really take care of much. There was like the pandemic going around. Mental health was shot. I was out of shape. And as soon as the world opened back up, that's when I started to hop on personal development. And so I quit my vices, started taking the gym more serious, started taking my appearance more serious. And one thing I really wanted to work on was cold approach, because I've literally watched probably like literally at least hundreds of hours of content on dating, on cold approach, but I haven't really applied it. I haven't really applied it, especially the approaches. I haven't really done that. And so I made it my mission to go out, and every single day on campus, I would approach about 3 to 5 girls every single time I was on campus. And to this day, I probably approached over 300 girls, which it's not too much, it's not too many, but it's definitely a lot more than none, right? And I've learned a lot of things along the way, but simply because I actually took action. For once in my life, I stopped just consuming information and I took action on it. That's what allowed me to be able to approach any woman I want now. That's what allowed me to be confident to get on camera and actually speak about this to you guys right now. And so if you're a guy who's just literally been watching hundreds of YouTube videos on dating, on cold approach, on how to talk to girls, on how to attract women, on how to get, excuse me, how to get over your ex, how to bounce back in the dating market after a divorce or a harsh breakup, I want you to know this. Nothing changes until you change. You need to get your act together. Optimize your habits. Make your daily habits revolve around who you envision yourself to be in the best light, right? What does the best version of you look like and what does he do? Optimize your habits around that. Get into the best shape of your life. That's going to increase your confidence tremendously because most men are not in shape. Dress in a way that complements your physique, right? The clothes don't make the man makes the clothes, but the clothes sure do help. When you've already built the man, the clothes sure do help, right? Groom yourself properly. And then actually go out and do the approaches. Go out and just say something, right? As long as you're not harassing this woman, as long as even if she does reject you, you kind of just, you take the note, you're like, okay, cool, have a nice day. You don't push her about it. You don't act salty. And when you do get rejected, because you will get rejected eventually, we all do, you keep showing up. I promise you, you're going to have an abundant dating life on your terms. And you're going to have this like inner confidence within you, knowing that, hey, anywhere I go, doesn't matter if it's a vacation, I'm out with my friends, I'm like on my lunch break, I'm at the gym, doesn't matter where you are, you know you're going to have the inner confidence that, hey, if I see a woman who I find attractive, I have what it takes, I have the balls to go up to her and speak to her. So few guys have that. Very few guys have that. Okay? So it's time to stop just consuming information. And if you're a guy who wants to take that next step and you need someone to hold you accountable to going up to women, attracting the type of woman that you want, maybe whether you're going from a breakup or a divorce and you want to optimize your dating life, you want to have a dating life on your terms, you want to start actually attracting and dating high quality women, and you want to have that inner confidence knowing that each and every single approach that you do is getting better and better, and you're not just kind of like hitting your head against the wall, running around in circles, I want to personally help you. If you want my help, click the link in the description. It's going to be the top link to book a one-on-one call with me. The call is absolutely free. It's just a discovery call. Gonna figure out a little bit more about your situation, where your life is at right now, and what your goals are with dating specifically. In my program, I help all my guys get into the best shape of their life and then leverage their physique and their habits to create an abundant dating life so that they don't have to watch pickup artist videos. They don't have to watch all these videos and watch all this content for years and still feel stuck. They don't have to research what are the best pickup lines. They can just go, right? And they get immediate feedback, one-on-one attention from me personally, helping them each and every single step of the way. So if this is something that interests you, just click that top link in the description, book the call with me, and let's see if we're a good fit. You can also check out my Instagram where I post daily reels, daily stories. I give out tons of free value on my Instagram, and you can always just shoot me a message about who you are, what your situation is like right now, and then we'll have a conversation in the DMs. And if I truly believe that I can help you, then we'll take it to the next step, right? If not, I'll just point you in the right direction. But that's all for today, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you boys real soon. Stay dangerous.